I will now pass it on to our next speaker, who is Dan from Desire to Inspire.
My name is Deyne Jurie. I'm a senior. My major is global public health. Desire to Inspire. I've worked with them this past semester, along with Bristol Gap high schoolers. Our goal was to work with camera work and pretty much capture the stories of the elders in Marin City as a whole, and behind the scenes when it comes to editing, making sure that these stories are told in a way that's captivating towards the audience and whoever is watching them. This was my first time not only working behind the cameras, but also interviewing professionally, quote unquote. We had a lot of great stories that really came out, and I think a lot they're very powerful and very important to the community as we make these videos public for other people to come watch. And there was one story in particular where we were interviewing him, and he talks about an experience where he dealt with segregation and racism. He wanted to come to California to have a better life. On the way here, he got pulled over to the side of the road by a state officer. He was asked for his registration, and as he got his registration, when he turned back around to get out of the car, he was held at gunpoint. And I found the story really powerful just because you hear about segregation and racism in books, in movies, in on social media. For me personally, I never heard something like that being told face to face to me. And that's something that I felt was very raw, that speaks to the vulnerability. I'm glad that this person was able to kind of speak about that, because that's not easy to speak about in general. And I think stories like that kind of make these videos very important in order to add to the history collection of Marin City, because a lot of people don't know about the history of Marin City as a whole. So having stories like this, having experiences like this could advocate towards what these people had to go through. That's pretty much the goal of Desire to Inspire Studio. I think they are doing such a great job in terms of grabbing these stories and having more and more of these in the archive to make sure that these are available to watch. And in terms of this story connecting to real life, I am part of Capamilia. We have a Filipino cultural night every year. Last year we'd have a historical play. It was basically about the I Hotel in San Francisco, about how people had to work around the system to fight for something that they believed in. This ties back to the person that we interviewed, because he knew the system. He knew how to get out of this. He knew how to get out of the hole that he was in, being wrongfully arrested. Having those two kind of tied in together, and knowing the legal system, knowing how to, even though it's working against them, still trying to find those ways to make sure that they fought for what they stood for. And just to close it all off, I'm glad that I was able to hear these stories. Now, knowing the interviewing portion along with the editing portion, it makes me have a passion even more for social media and overall just learning more about Marin City. Thank you.